that down. Let's move on to this, shall we? Avengers Doomsday is coming. And you probably saw this image floating around online all over the place. Supposedly a picture of Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doom. And there have been several major debates ranging from, is this even real? A lot of people saying, I don't believe it. And if it is real, is it any good? Do people like it? MCU fans split over the Dr. Doom leak, and we can see why, and all this kind of stuff. So I wanted to throw in my kind of 2 cents on this. All right. Number one, it is very possible that this picture is fake, right? Obviously, there'd be a lot of motivation for people who like to.
Fake.
It's a fake. There's a lot of motivation to put out fake stuff and put it out there and all that kind of stuff, right? Absolutely, 100% could be fake. I don't know if it's fake or not. Very well could be. I'm going to tell you that I think it's real. And I'm going to tell you why I think it's real.
Huh?
And also why I don't think, if it is real, and I have no idea if it is real, why I don't think it's a big deal that this picture came out. So let's first get to why I think it's real. The reason I think it's real, and again, I'm just purely guessing, I won't be shocked to find out that it's a fake, okay? The reason I'm going to lean towards that I'm thinking that it's real is that if you were going to make a fake picture of this, I don't think this is the picture you make. For those of you who saw the full image, okay? The full pictorial image. He's not standing on a green screen. He's standing on a white slide. He's standing on a photo shoot set. You could see that it's got the curved white. That's what they do in these photo shoots. They have a white wall, but also it's not a wall that comes down and has a hard edge to the floor. It slopes out like this to remove any angle shadows and all that kind of stuff. And off, you can see because of the angle of the photo off to the side, there's literally a light stand and all that kind of stuff. It looks like, I'm just thinking, if you're going to fake this picture, and it could be fake, but I'm saying if you're going to fake this picture, why would you do it on something like this? So absolutely could be fake. I'm guessing it might be real. Now, if it's real, the reason I don't think it's actually a big deal that this came out is because if it's real, then this picture is clearly being taken on a promotional photo shoot. This picture, if it's real, look at the way he's standing. This isn't in the middle of a movie shot. This is still photography. This is going to be popping up on the side of a McDonald's cup. This is going to be popping up on the side of a McHappy Meal. This is going to be on the front of a cereal box. This is going to be something that's used in promotion. In other words, the reason I don't think that if this is real, that it's a big deal that's coming out now, is that clearly this is going to be an image that comes out before the movie's out anyway. This is a photo made for public consumption.
Do you think this is something maybe Hasbro, the action figures, they're taking photo maybe to mold the action
toy
figure?
Packaging. Yep, yeah. This could be a photo for toy packaging.
Or Hot Toys, Rob.
Or a hot toy.
Look at the light on his face. It looks like it's a dramatic photo shoot for a style guide or something else. But I would go even further. You know, a lot of people are complaining. I think this is from a promotional shoot that has nothing to do with Doomsday. I think this is a promotional shoot that we're going to see in a product either from Thunderbolts, probably not, but most likely Fantastic Four, because I think this is a Doctor Doom iteration that is not Doctor Doom. I think this is Victor Von Doom before something befalls him and sends him on a different path.
So let's get the two questions here to you. Number one, do you think the picture is real?
Yes.
And then, so that's the answer to that question. You do think it's real. What do you think about the image?
I think it's exactly what you said. I think it's from a promotional shoot that's either from a product style guide. Because if you look at, like, for instance, I hate to bring it up again, but if you look at Star Trek, for instance, if you look at, say, if you buy Exo 6 action figures, for each iteration of the show, they have this artwork that is on all of their product, and it's split across whatever it is. And it's something along the lines of what this shot is of Doom. Same thing. If they're going to have action figures, if Dr. Doom shows up in Fantastic Four, which I suspect he must, if it's a post, of course they're going to have him everywhere. Like after the movie comes out, whether it is on big gulp cups, whether it is on a Happy Meal, whether it is on toys or action figures or a Lego set or whatever. He's the Happy Doom. Before he goes doomy 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 doom doom. He's Happy Doom before all hell breaks loose.
Okay, but you still haven't answered this question. What do you think about the image? Like, do you like
do
the
I mean,
outfit?
look,
Like, do you not like it? How do you feel about it?
He looks very regal. He looks very like King Doom. Like he looks like a guy that I would follow. He doesn't look angry. We see his face. It's before the fall, and I like it. Like he has a certain iteration of his armor. That's not the armor, that's not God Emperor Doom. That's a version of the armor. I mean, how many Iron Man armors have we seen in the MCU? Many. This is just one iteration. This is Sage-like Jor-El Doom. He's Jor-El Doom. He's Jor-El Doom right here. That's what it is.
What do you think about, I mean, it could just be a dent in the armor, but a lot of people are speculating the thing in the middle is an arc reactor. What do you think it's an arc reactor? Do you think it's just a dent in the armor? If it is an arc reactor, what does that
I think it is an arc reactor, and I have a theory. I do think that the Doom and whatever's going on is Tony Stark. It's Tony Stark who went the wrong way. I think it is an iteration of Stark, and people are going to get mad. Oh, it's got to be Victor Von Doom. But why cast Tony Stark as a complete... I mean, you can cast him as Victor Von Doom if you want, but it's a multiverse story. And what did Tony Stark want to do? He wanted to build a suit of armor around the world. Well, what if he stayed head of Stark Industries? And what if he made munitions? And what if he never fought Obadiah Stane and he became... If the Tony Stark at the beginning of Iron Man 1 went a different way, and it wouldn't even surprise me if we get a flashback to Iron Man 1 or something, and we see Tony Stark go on a different path, the road less traveled, the It's a Wonderful Life Tony Stark that went a different way. I'd love that. That'd be cool.
You know what the armor reminds me of? Have you guys seen Infamous Iron Man?
Yeah.
It kind of looks like that. I actually dig this armor. I think it looks great. He looks great. A little Kenny Rogers, Odin.
A little Kenny Rogers.
Mixed there. Like I have to get past the head, like his new hair and like his look. But the suit itself looks so cool. I'm actually really digging it.
Here's like this is going back to a theory that I proposed back when they announced Robert Downey Jr. The theory I have is that he's not a Tony Stark variant, but rather Tony Stark is a variant of him.
Right. Yeah.
And I went back. Here was my overall theory, was that like many, 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 many people in America, there's a lot of families that do not have the names that their ancestors had. A lot of times when families would come over to North America, Canada, or the US, sometimes they would change their names. So here's the theory I had. What if Tony Stark's, great-great-grandfather, they lived in another country, let's say, I don't know, Latveria.
Yeah.
And at some point they came over to America, changed the name from, Von Doom to Stark. And so Tony's great-grandfather was here, his grandfather and his dad, and he was here, and that's him. Now, what if you go back to the actual guy? Like if Tony Stark is the variant, and you go back and Tony's great-great-great-grandfather never left Latveria. And Tony's grandfather and Tony's dad and Tony, whose real name is Victor, and now they are known as the Von Dooms. And he becomes king there, but has canon event. Remember in Spider-Man, they talk about canon events? Canon event still happens to him, that something happens. He has to put in like some kind of arc reactor.
Sure.
And So actually, Tony Stark is a variant of Victor Von Doom. Victor Von Doom is the core character. I mean, I don't know. These are just the theories.
But I mean, it is a multiverse story,
Yes,
and it's like you got to think like, why would they do a multiverse story and not lean into something like this? And it makes sense. Plus, I think it's cool. You know, for everybody screaming that Victor Von Doom has to be exactly like he is in the comics. Well, which comic? Which comic does he have to be like? You know, not you don't have
so many variations.
You don't have to go some obscure way, but you got to think. I mean, first of all, the whole point about multiverses, what makes them fun, is you get to see variants of people. And if you go back to what Kevin Feige understands, which is Star Trek, what was really interesting about Star Trek second season's Mirror, where you got to see everybody's quote unquote evil counterparts, and you meet the evil bearded Spock, and he's this elegant guy, and Kirk even says, "You're a man of integrity in both universes, Mr. Spock." And Kevin Feige, being a Star Trek fan, what is the obvious thing to do? You take the core of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which is Tony Stark's Iron Man, and you show him going down the road less traveled. What if he became a villain? It is the central question that makes storytelling interesting. So you'll get to see all this stuff we've never seen before, watching our beloved Tony Stark break bad and go down a different path. I love that idea, and I want to see it.
By the way, I do want to bring this up. One of our viewers, I am JMS, wrote, "He better look like the comic accurate Doom." To the point that Rob just brought up, which comic accurate Doom?
Right.
Doom has had like 43 variations to his looks. I mean, every time you look at him, you can see that's Dr. Doom, but he's had multiple. So when you say he better be comic accurate, which comic accurate? But there's so many different versions.
There'll always be a little MCU spin on the Thor costumes, right? This kind of looks like a Thor costume too. Like a little bit. There's a little bit of Thor in there.
There's a little Asgardian in there.
Yeah, you recolor the cape red.
Which is possible, because if you are a variant and you've been to Asgard or interact with Thor, why wouldn't you incorporate a little Asgardian armor?
Asgardian technology.
Just like if you went to Westeros, I got to get some Valyrian steel. Give me some Asgardian armor. I mean, there's so many things you could do. And remember, you got to put aside the comics. You have the MCU as it has existed since 2008. So in our MCU, that's what we have. You've got to put aside the comics. The MCU's been informed by the comics, but now the MCU has its own history. So how did this variant of Tony Stark, aka Victor Von Doom, aka we don't know yet, how does it work? How does he work? How has he worked in the MCU?
And the biggest question I have is, when he puts on that helmet, is he going to have the locks flowing from the back of the helmet?
No, I think
that's a legit question. Don't laugh. That's a legit question. I don't think he will, though.
That's why I think we're seeing a variant. We're seeing an iteration of Doctor Doom that is not the Doctor Doom we're going to meet in Doomsday. That's why I think he's an earlier iteration, and he hasn't broken as bad as he's going to be.
By the way, I just want to throw this in there. One of our viewers is saying the Council of Kang is still out there. No, they're not. At the end of Loki season 2, the whole postscript on it was they explained that the TVA was now going around picking off all the various members. So I don't think the Council of Kang is still out there.
And obviously from this picture, we're missing the helmet or mask, right? But Hasbro released recently like a Doctor Doom mask. I don't know if that one is going to be any idea, or that one's going to give us any idea of what the mask or the helmet's going to look like. I think that's important for me, at least, how the helmet looks.
I mean, here's the thing is, as long as the helmet, when you look at it, you instantly know, oh yeah, that's clearly Doctor Doom.
Right.
That's how I always feel about costumes in the superhero movies. Is like, as long as when I look at it, my first thing is I instantly know who the character is. Then the little details or the little changes, I don't really care about that. Like when I look at this, I see Doctor Doom.
Yeah, but the mask has to be menacing when he has that cloak and you see the shadows.
Oh, sure, but it can be a little bit different, but still.
Yeah,
menacing,
right. Like,
right?
Yeah,
I don't think he doesn't need the mask yet. Whatever's going to befall him is going to be the reason he wears the mask. I think that, look, we're going to see the journey of this character. We're going to see his genesis and his journey that leads him to where he winds up. And
All
that's
right.
why I think this is from Fantastic Four.
Doomsday.
Guy, I mean, just for the record, I don't think he appears in Fantastic Four at all. I don't even think in a post.
I don't know either.
I mean, but
I just think he does.
it'd be pretty cool if he did. Guys, by the way, you even thought there might be a chance he pops up in Thunderbolts.
Maybe.
Which,
Yeah, I mean, again,
I don't think so,
and
but I also think would be cool.
And by the way, what if that is a Stark variant and it isn't Doctor Doom at all?
Right? It is the multiverse. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about that image going around all over the place? Number one, do you think it's legit? Do you think it's real? It very well could not be. I kind of think it is. But, and if it is, do you like it? Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.